Even though at the beginning I joked that we wouldn't talk about Legaea's team, his team actually isn't terrible. The GG Blood team he plays for, basically, the only teams they lost to in VCT were the two teams that you would expect for that region to go, the Xerxia and the fucking Paper X teams. Those are the teams that knocked you out. So give us some thoughts then. Since these two teams are going, and crucially, now people are interested in both of them. Before they were only interested in the Xerxia team for like the stupid like rivalry angle with fucking NA, and then obviously no one really knew what to expect from Paper X. But like, I have to say, loads of people on this show seem like they'll actually love the playing style of Paper X, and the Xerxia team obviously impressed. So what do you think? Should we actually expect these teams to do something at this LAN like here?
I honestly believe from the bottom of my heart, not because I'm in this region, that Paper X can win this tournament.
Win the whole thing.
They don't have the highest chances, obviously, but yes, they can win this whole thing. And
what do you think of their style of play? Because people say it's super unusual, right?
It's very, very aggressive and hard to deal with. And I thought, okay, if you have always these stupid set plays, I will just watch you and counter you. And yeah, didn't really work that easy. They have a huge arsenal, and this guy also knows when he gets, or these guys know when they get punished, how to adapt. They're not fucking stupid players. And I believe that Forsaken is a top 3 duelist.
In the whole world, he's just
in the whole world. Like, okay. I promise you.
I've heard people say the eye test
like
is very
it's
good
ridiculous. Do you know who that is actually?
It's the brother of the
brother
guy,
of X-Power, yeah. X-Power. Oh,
X-Power, yes. X-Power is the Russian player. You're mixing the two names up, but yeah. The guy who used to be on Tyloo in CSGO, yes. Yeah.
But I think he's really good, and then he has also Jing, who I think is also a very, very strong player, and can fill also the duelist role whenever he plays Chamber, for example. Or if they play double duelists, and it's going to be hard for the teams to how they will manage. But if they manage this aggression that they have, then I think they're obviously beatable. But you have to out-aim them first, and it's going to be hard, very hard.
I don't expect you to watch.
Actually, I don't think actually is not good. I don't
that good.
No, I think they are super countable. I don't think they are necessarily like really good individually. I think their smoker is actually the best player by far, which is not the best for your team, obviously. But we will see. I mean, I lost to them. What can I say?
True.
Yeah, but I don't think they are at the contender for the tournament.
Okay.
Last year, the last tournament, I think they made it further than they should have.
You buy it, Geo Paper X winning the whole thing? It would certainly be a headline. I'll give you that. It'd be a headline and a half.
I don't think they will, but I agree that they could. Personally, as it stands right now, I think Fnatic will win. But I mean, because Paper X came 4th at Reykjavik, and that was because they got beaten out by Zeta Division, which also no one expected to get that far.
Yes,
like the whole thing about like, these APAC and whatever teams like getting as far as they did, really took a lot of people by surprise. But I think Paper X, especially having seen them, they were at Masters Berlin, and they had potential, but overall not like hyper impressive. And seeing that jump that they've made in the half a year between those two Masters events, and just how much they've improved and really like honed in on that skill that is present in the team, I think is very scary. And the fact that I think that NA and EMEA influence each other a lot, and so they sort of go into these international events really sort of like eyeing each other, and they're like, okay, I know exactly how this person plays. Everyone has an idea of how Paper X plays and stuff like that, but they're still a faraway team that they don't get to like scrim, they don't get to like practice against that playstyle for the most part.
Sure.
So there is still that element of like, we have a relatively short period of time to figure out the weakness in this team. And meanwhile, they are hyper aggressive and they're just going to throw it at us. And we got to hope that we can hold ourselves up against that. And I think that makes at least the Western regions very susceptible to a team like Paper X. So I could definitely see them going really far. I honestly, if they won, I would be like, it was going to happen at some point. But personally, I think that Fnatic will probably win this one.
But I'm also like pro Paper X for this tournament is also because the agent pool that they right now play, you don't see that in Europe. I'm telling you,
What
really,
sort
you
of
don't
stuff do
see
they
that.
play?
Like they play a lot Yoru, they play
Right.
Neon on maps that you should not
Okay.
play, or not many teams play Neon. They play Breach on some maps that teams don't play Breach. So it's gonna be like you have to adapt to those guys, and it's not like that they only play these comps. They actually have like, no joke, 3 to 4 comps on every single map. And Angel said it on in an interview the other day I heard with I don't know who it was, but he said that they are also right now trying to maximize their agent pool and try to play like several comps on certain maps. So just because it's in the end way easier, way harder to counter them, and they can surprise many more teams during the picking phase. So I think it's gonna be hard to beat Paper X. I'm telling you.
Forsaken going 24-9 on Neon on Fracture
That'll
against
help.
Zersha. So,
That'll help.
Like you will not pick, for
and a
example, Bind against them.
94% cast. Like what? That's nuts.
Really, he's a monster. And like, what's most dangerous about him is if we get to see his Yoru, because nobody will beat him on Bind. No team in the world. You cannot beat him on Bind. It's impossible. He actually, that's a fun fact. I actually wrote him on Twitter the other day that he made me never ever in my life play Bind again, unless he's in my team. And I stand to that forever. I will not play Bind in my life again. That's how hard he broke me.
Oh my God.
I'm
Just
telling you,
he
that's
ruined it
how
for
hard
you
he broke me.
completely, right?
I'm telling you, really.
He ruined
After
it.
that match against them, 13-0 or 13-1, I will not play this map again.
It's
Until
funny.
I have
I
him.
always, I find it funny hearing something like that because I remember when I did the playoffs for the like Northern Europe like regional league thing, and this
As
was
in
kind
like
of
Sweden and Norway and shit like that.
Yes.
it's like it's kind of like the NLC in league.
right,
So
I see. Right,
it includes
yes.
the UK in it.
Oh, okay, right. Okay.
And this was just when kind of the changes were coming in and Yoru had just been like buffed and whatever. And there was a game where I don't remember the name of the team that he was on, but Bonkar, who used to be on Guild actually, he played Yoru on Bind. And it was a disaster. It was not good at all. And I remember watching that being like, yeah, no one's going to try and pick that up because that was shit. And then you say that the other end of the spectrum is Forsaken breaking you so much on Bind playing Yoru that I'm like, this is the scope for how to professionally play Yoru on Bind.
Twice they played Bind on Champions last year, last Champions, and twice they beat both teams 13-1. One 13-0, one 13-1, I think, on Champions with Yoru. So there's a reason why I don't want to play
would love to
this
see
map
them
against him.
play
It's crazy.
Fnatic on Bind, because I know so Bind was always Fnatic's map, and then they kind of let it lie low a little bit, and now they've it's back very much in their map pool. That I think would be fun to see. Is those
Would
two
be
teams
good to
go
see,
up
I
against
hope.
each other on it?
I'm
I don't know,
excited.
what is the format? Is it a double elimination format or have they even announced it?
I don't think it's
It
enough.
doesn't have the format on the Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's not on
It's
the
not-
Wikipedia page.
So I'm guessing they're waiting to see on that one.
Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.